here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out the 37.
Oh!
Burned!
Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes Zwack.
A punch for the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
I played a couple of simulators and this was like very responsive, especially the hydraulics and stuff, the motion and stuff was really, really on point.
Make you feel like you're really driving, it feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.
And here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out the 37.
Oh!
Burned!
Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes Zwack.
A punch for the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
And here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out the 37.
Oh!
Burned!
Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes Zwack.
A punch for the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
Welcome everybody, VRX Simulators 188 VSRL Truck Series, the set Monday Night Truck Series here live on VSPEED. I'm your host, Bradley Cooper, and we're at Talladega tonight for 75 laps, 200 miles, we'll round it up. Race 9 out of 14, and it's getting down to crunch time. These guys starting the chase. Gonna be 4 wide racing. A lot of room for these guys to move around at this racetrack. And if there's one thing I've learned from Talladega, anything can happen. Anybody can win. I hope you guys are set as we have about 20 cars here to start the race off tonight. 1 minute to go as we get our warm-ups in. We're traveling around. We've got plenty of camera angles for you tonight. Turn 4 exit looking really good. Turn 2 exit looking really good. this static camera. We got a drone camera tonight as well. I got all kinds of stuff. Look at that. The pylon. Just amazing. Great work by the camera crew. And I meant to credit the camera tonight, the creator of these cameras. And I failed to remember the name, so we'll make sure to get that up there in the links in the description for next week. But here we are, VRX Simulators 188. And if you watched any of the promotional footage for the beginning of this stream and this broadcast, you know VRX Simulations is the place to go for real world, I guess, what's the proper terms for it? Can we use, I don't even know how to describe it. Half the people in the commercial don't even know how to describe it. It just feels real. It feels really real. So go check them out, vrxsimulators.com. And outside of that, we got some warm-up laps. Sean Bounty turning around right now. Thad Miller out there on the track, Kyle Stewart, but we're getting ready to hit the grid. Going down to pit road. There it is, starting on the pole tonight. Sean Bounty, the fastest one around this track. Dakota Floyd's going to start on the outside of him. Let's bring that grid up for you real quick. There it is, a 56.090. Dakota Floyd just a 100th of a second off of that time. Going to be starting in the second row. We're going to have Ross Phillips. He's put on a good show this year. Nicholas Pressey in the 4th position. Joseph Selig in 5th spot with Morgan Cook in 6th position. Brian Hennings in 7th. Sean Langton, that guy's won a lot of races this year, in the 8th spot. And then rounding out your top 10, we've got Garrett Helmlinger and Chris Klein. 11th position is going to belong to Thad Miller. Back here beside him, we got Todd Cleveland in the 44 machine. Luke Daniels and Adam Tips. We got a car. Ross Phillips not rolling here on the start, so we're taking a little second here to get everybody rolling. Just behind that, Justin Ritchie and Mark Math. David Achenbauer and Kyle Stewart. And then rounding out your field with the 20 cars is Brian Watkins and Nicholas Fontenot. I hope you guys are as excited as I am to bring you flag-to-flag coverage here on VSPEED of the VSRL Truck Series. Sean Bounty able to put up on the pole. I'm excited to see what this guy can do. Dakota Floyd. It's going to be tandem racing for a lot of this heat. I'd say the first half of this race, guys are going to take their time, get partied up, to figure out who they want to work with, and you won't really see them move 3 wide for quite a few laps. Unless these guys still a little antsy, some of these guys might not have warm weather, they're getting cabin fever, ready to get out of the track, get outside, get warmed up. Tell you what, it's been a great week for that. I hope you guys got to enjoy some of that warm weather. It was hit or miss there for the first couple of weeks of May, last week of April, but it's starting to straighten up. I'm excited to see like the sunshine they have here in Talladega tonight. We got photo finish cameras. We got all kinds of stuff. Look at this place. High banks. Look at turn 4's exit. Drone camera. Most excited about the drone camera, I'm not going to lie. Here we go. Getting ready to start this thing off. Pace car is going to pull down, and we got to go all the way through the tri-oval before we hit that green flag. Here they are, just moments away from the start. Green flag up in the air, and here we're live. VSRL Truck Series at Dega. ready to lead lap number 1. Sean Bounty holding on to the pole. Selig going to drop down to the bottom. And there's Brian Hennings just behind him in that VRX Simulations machine. Always a wicked paint job. I liked it more with the lime green, but that red is pretty poppy. I like that with the flames. Good looking lead here. Was he come off a turn 2? Down the back straightaway. Got a lot of different camera angles. The main thing that we need to focus on right now is who's going to pair up with who. Right now, Joseph Selig is paired up with the leader, but that outside line has not formed yet. You see the 28 of Luke Daniels. He was starting on the inside. He's come up to the outside. He's the only one up there with Dakota Floyd right now, and the 51 drops back in the line. Looks like the outside's going to have a hard time getting going. And like I said, the first half of this race probably going to be single file, guys taking their time. You see it up on the outside. It's actually a pretty good run there for Floyd. Got a good partner with Luke Daniels. I think these guys will stay partnered up for quite some time. On the back straightaway, not able to make any headway. And the 12 of Selig touches the apron there for just a split second. And on board here with Brian Hennings in the 3rd position. Not a lot going on here towards the front. Top 10 pretty single file. We have to go all the way back here to this second tandem of cars. Ross Phillips has fallen all the way back to the 16th position. Remember, Ross Phillips started up there in that top 3. And he's just kind of sandbagging a little bit, trying to stay out of trouble. He's got the 54 of Adam Tips behind him. And there's another teammate there. Kyle Stewart in the 41. That's a new paint scheme on that machine. I like that. Let's get a focus on that one. Purple and green, you can't go wrong with that. Back up here towards the front, nothing really going on. The 12 of Selig probably cooling it down a little bit. Think about that 34. He's led all 5 laps around this place. We've stayed clean and green. We got a little bit of action going on back here in this pack. The 5 of Phillips. Look at the push on the outside with Langton right now as they come up to the back of the 28 of Luke Daniels. Now the outside's getting developed, and that 41. Look at the orange speed, guys. Look at that push on the outside. They're on point now. 4 or 5 positions there. Trying to grab that draft. The 41 of Stewart not quite able to grab it. It's like the 21 of Helmlinger. He's got the 51. These guys are probably going to get all in line here. I called it. They're lining up here. We've got the 28 of Luke Daniels on the outside. Ross Phillips, Sean Langton trying to chase down Sean Bounty. And Selig keeps tapping that apron. That's going to give more headroom to this outside line, who's worked its way up to 5th position. Luke Daniels had fallen all the way back to 10th spot when he collected the 8 of Langton. Ross Phillips, Kyle Stewart, Morgan Cook, all up there on the outside. The 51 at the tail end of this group, and they're all the way up to third position now. Luke Daniels getting a great shove here. .34. He's holding on to the lead. The 12 of Selig is going to have to push pretty hard here. They're going to hold on to it at least for another lap. Up here on the bumpers, Sean Langton on the back of Luke Daniels trying to give him a shove. Got to be careful through here. Really upset that truck. Now back up on the bumper again. If they can make some headway. They're neck and neck now, going into 3. Just before that entry, the 28 had the nose over top of Sean Bounty. And Bounty's going to move up and block that run. He actually pops out all the way to the back. Bounty goes 3 wide. He's going to fall all the way back. He's going to lose about 7, 8, 9 positions. The 34... maybe a little scared of this run. He drops down in front. Looks like the 13 of Thad Miller is going to pick him up on the outside line. And now Selig leading this race. He's got Brian Hennings pushing him. Luke Daniels probably going to take over the lead here as you see him going into 3. Daniels just can't quite get the run, and that's opened up the door a little bit for Ross Phillips. Now 3 wide for the lead. Langton's going to fall back. Ross Phillips gets up on the bumper. Langton probably getting a little hot there as he falls in behind Kyle Stewart. His outside line just couldn't get going. Now Ross Phillips got fresh legs on the court. Will it be enough to clear it? This time around, looks like Daniels might lead the lap. Selig doesn't have the push from Hennings that he needs. And this time across the line. Looks like the 28's going to get it. Well, Selig back in the front. 28, Luke Daniels, Ross Phillips. The 74, Brian Hennings, they're holding it up front. Dakota Floyd, he's been really quiet here, sitting in about the 5th position. And he's kind of in the same boat that the 41 of Kyle Stewart is. You can't push, you can't go anywhere, so just ride, follow this line, and see where it takes you. The 34, Sean Bounty, falls back to the 7th position. Sean Langton, who was pushing that 28 truck just a moment ago, and that time by Daniels is going to lead the lap by 0.05 of a second. Barely gets by with the lead lap, but there's another one in the books for him. Hope you guys are enjoying tonight's broadcast here on VSPEED, VRX Simulations 188. If you like what you see, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you never miss a single race of the VSRL Truck Series, the Set Truck Series, Southeast Tutoring, and VRX Motion Rigs. The simulators are top-notch. Right now, as it sits, you've got Joseph Selig and Luke Daniels battling it out for the lead. Ross Phillips, Kyle Stewart, Brian Hennings, your top five. Kind of back and forth all over the place. On board here with Dakota Floyd, and this is what it feels like to be in a traffic jam at 200 miles per hour. Nowhere to go. Two by two all the way back to about the 8th position. Langton there on the outside. He's got Morgan Cook keeping him in the draft. Sean Bounty there at the end of that run on the inside line. Then you have the 94 of Pressey starting to work his way up from the 11th position. The 21 of Garrett Helmlinger in 12th. These guys setting back a little bit, keeping that gap from the leaders, and there's a reason for that. If anybody's ever been restrictor plate racing, you know that these wrecks happen fast. They can happen at any time. And you want to have that little cushion there to react just in time. And what we're talking about with cushion here on board with Nicholas Pressey, who started in the 4th position. These guys have fallen back. They know that it is a possibility. But right now, 16 laps into this thing, the lanes are looking pretty calm. I don't see a lot of turbulence. I'd get right up there on the bumper of these guys. Start to press a little bit. See what kind of runs I can get. Learn something here early in the race. These guys relying on those green flag pit stops to come down pit road, win the race off pit road, and get into a 4 or 5 car tandem and break away. But one caution, reset the field, put them right back to where they started. Thad Miller right here on the edge of the top 10. He's having an excellent day thus far. He's stayed up there in the top 10 for most of it. 13 machine looking to have a good finish here this week. Selig still leading laps. Sideline completely breaks down. That means it's time for pit stops. Let's see what happens here. You know they're coming. These guys start dropping off to the inside, single file all the way through the field. You know it's getting to be about that time. All the way through the field. Nobody doing it yet. It's only a matter of time, I'm thinking. Field's starting to break away a little bit here. Not sure if we had an issue. Sean Langton, Ross Phillips fall back a little bit from the 28 of Luke Daniels. They might be sizing up pit road this time by. Any takers on pit road this time? I don't believe so. They're still running around this place. 19 coming on 20. Really have no idea. I do notice some damage there on the front of that 28 machine of Luke Daniels. He's got a little crinkle in the right front nose. Don't know if we can get a good angle of that from the rear end. We cannot. See if we can get a better camera on that. That slight amount of damage there on that 28. He's not going to show it to us. Peeking on out there. There we go. Just a little bit. Todd Miller, I see you out there in chat, by the way. That is my kid. Always came to my races. Thank you for this. Let's go, Garrett and Adam. Jacob Shoemaker, I see you as well. Appreciate you guys coming out here and watching tonight's broadcast. Right now, 21 laps into this thing, and I thought these guys were going to pit 2 laps ago. They all single filed out. Ross Phillips falls back about 0.6 of a second from the 28 of Luke Daniels. And the way these guys are all running single file just shouts pit road to me. You can fall all the way back here. That's what 0.6 looks like here for the front bumper of Ross Phillips. Just on the edge of that draft. I don't know. I don't know where they're headed. Is somebody coming down pit road? Look at the gap here between 3rd and 4th. Nobody this time through. We must have had one taker, Selig. He comes down pit road. So he's the first one, and he was out front for a majority of that run. Actually, I'd say 99% of it. He's going to have to hit pit road, and he actually loses a little bit of time there hitting his stall. Too far back there for the 12 machine. Man, we're going to have some takers next time by, I have a feeling. Here they come. Kyle Stewart, Ross Phillips, all the Orange Speed guys pitting together. Luke Daniels in there, Sean Langton as well. On a long journey down pit road here. Still out on the track, Brian Hennings, Nicholas Pressey side by side. Thad Miller out there as well. Mark Matt's still out there. Ross Phillips coming back out on the track. Sean Langton, Morgan Cook, Jared Helmlinger. And here they come down pit road. There's Brian Hennings. John Bounty, Dakota Floyd. Looks like Mark Math. Hockenbauer might be in that mix. Yeah, there he is. 37 machine gonna hit his pit stop. Wonder Bread machine. Pressy gonna stay out another lap. He will lead this time by, possibly. Now the 94, the 55, 13 of Thad Miller in there as well. It's like the 18, Chris Klein, Brian Watkins. These guys all coming down together. It's going to cycle back out. Let's see where the 5 of Ross Phillips is going to shake out as he goes around the 24, Dakota Floyd. They're catching up to Sean Bounty, Brian Hennings that got into a tandem. It's like Ross Phillips gonna take away the lead from Nicholas Pressy, who's just getting back out on the track. You can see Phillips coming across the line now. Phillips catch him in time. I think he will. Oh, some contact between the 8, the 34 is involved, the 51. The 51 gets shoveled out of line here. And a lot of movement there on the backstretch. Let's go back and take a look at that really quickly. There we go. Let's get the right replay buttons. They're coming up the back straightaway. These guys are coming off of pit road. Watch the 51 of Morgan Cook here on the outside. Langton gets out of line, tries to go down. Brian Hennings is there. Shuffles back up. And the 51 gets stuck to the wall. They're 4 wide there for a second. Ross Phillips leading this race. Brian Hennings, Sean Langton, Sean Bounty, Nicholas Pressy are top 5. Justin Ritchie back there a little ways from this group. They're all back to single file. I look to see the runs start here. And based off of that last one, green flag pit stops are going to start at about lap 50, 53, 54. We'll see here in a few, but right now, lap 28 going around, and they've stayed clean and green. 8 lead changes, 0 cautions. Track temperature, not a big factor, 92 degrees, 78 ambient temperature. Perfect day for racing here in Alabama. VRX Simulators 188 here at Talladega Superspeedway, coming up on lap 29 out of 75, race 9 out of 14. We're going to take a quick commercial break here for VRX Simulations. We'll be right back here on VSPEED, uninterrupted, right after this.
played a couple of simulators, and this was like very responsive, especially the hydraulics and stuff, the motion and stuff was really, really on point.
Make you feel like you're really driving. It feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.
Oh, big wiggle.
Here comes Lyle using the bottom sack car closing in behind.
And here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out the 37.
Oh!
The world is burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Zwack.
A push for the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
We're back here, VRX Simulators 188, and we had a change for the lead while we took a commercial break. John Langton takes it away. 5 of Ross Phillips falls back to the 8th position. 9th position, rather. And now leading this thing is the 21 of Garrett Helmlinger. 32 laps into the race, and the 21 figures that a way to get up front. Oh, we got a spin there. The 5 of Phillips gets really loose off of the exit. Take a look back at that. I don't know exactly what happened here to the 5, but he gets super loose, shoots up to the outside line. Wow. Hold on to it, Ross. Big headway here for the outside line now. The 21, the 51 are going to drop down. Sean Langton, it looks like a lot of orange speed guys getting up to the front. Luke Daniels trying to get back up there. Started back in 13th, now currently being shown in the 2nd position. And 3 wide, Ross Phillips up there on the outside. This guy's getting more and more racy as the race goes on. I'm watching Ross Phillips. He went from the inside line to the outside line, now up the middle here for the 5 of Phillips. There's a move for him. He has the momentum. He needs a partner. The 41 peeking down to the inside, thinking about it. Side drafted for the 5. No help here for the 5. He's going to fall back and lose ground. The 74, Brian Hennings, pushes up on him. The 28 gets the lead, though. Helmlinger has a good pusher back there with the 51 and Morgan Cook, but and now that outside line working against itself. But the outside line, teammates trying to beat a teammate. And the 5 of Phillips again, another move. Now he's got the 74 of Hennings. 3 wide, down the back straightaway. Phillips has went from 10th, 11th position all the way back up to 2nd. And he's on the outside of the lead here as they cross the line. 74 Hennings, 8 of Langton, going to the outside with 12 of Selig. 3 wide again as they go into 1 and 2. Right up on the bumper. I'm speechless with how much they've shuffled guys out here. There's been guys that are running on the outside in 2nd, 3rd position. Just can't get a partner to roll with them. Luke Daniels is loving what he's seeing here. John and Deb Langton, we see out there in chat right now. Shout out to the number 8 of Sean Langton. He just pushed the 5 of Ross Phillips up to the lead. And on the outside line, he now has the 37 Wonder Bread of David Ackenbauer. 28 drops back up in front of him. That was a good move there for the 28. He wants to lead laps. Daniel's going to come up to the outside line. Selig has hit pit road again. If he's trying to make it on one more stop or that was unscheduled there for the 12. He's going to catch up. These guys are going to catch up to him very quickly. Going to move up out of the way. The freight train's going to go by. Oh, and there's trouble. Big wreck into 1. The 28's involved. The 24. The 55. 13 of Thad Miller. Mark Math. 337 down there on the apron. That's Fontenot. And Ross Phillips. I saw that begin with Ross Phillips. We're going to go back and take a look at this. Big crash into 1 as they were passing the lap car of Joseph Selig. First caution of the night here at Talladega. Let's get over there with the 5 of Phillips. He gets contact. I don't know if he got shoved down the track. But what a big crash we had going into turn 1. Let's go back and ride on board here with the 5. If he gets shoved out of line here by the 41. Yeah, he gets turned. He gets turned hard. That's a big crash here involving 7-8 different cars. Oh, the 55 almost gets through it. Let's go on board with the 55 machine. Justin Ritchie. He almost slips his way through this thing. Oh, no. Nowhere to go there. That's going to bring out caution number 1. That means we have green or caution flag pit stops. A lot of this field already brought it down pit road, but here comes Brian Hennings to lead some of the guys that didn't get involved in that. About 5 or 6 cars that didn't get involved. Ross Phillips probably getting the worst end of that deal. Phillips going to come back down pit road now. 54 of Adam Tips. See a lot of cars with damage on the front end. Oh, and the 21 of Helmlinger misses his pit box. There's the 5 of Phillips. Hitting his stall now. That'll be our first caution of the night with our 13 lead changes. It's been pretty interesting to watch. Thank you, John Deb. Appreciate that. We do everything we can to bring you flag-to-flag coverage here. VSRL Set Truck Series Monday nights. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and like this broadcast. If you enjoy what you're seeing, if you're liking the camera angles and all the things that are happening, it wouldn't be possible without the great people here at VSRL, people at VSPEED, Adam Baker, Garrett Helmlinger, everybody that made this possible. So make sure you like that broadcast. It really helps us out, gets us noticed on the algorithm. I don't really know how the algorithm works. I just know how to say it. I can barely do that. So I appreciate your time and hitting that button. Means a lot to us. All right, so 41 laps into this race tonight, and I'm talking to myself for all 75 of them. I promise you it's going to be the best. We're looking at a great finish. The 24 Dakota Floyd, 9.5 seconds. He's going to top off with fuel. These guys can probably make it to the end. It's going to be close. If they're clutching it right now, they might be able to make it all the way through. It's going to be very close on fuel. These guys might come back in and top off one more time just to make sure. But it's going to be close. I don't know exactly the numbers that some of these guys are getting. If they're out in front, burning more fuel, more wind resistance, makes sense. But those guys, 4 or 5 cars deep, able to use that draft and lift off the throttle, coast a lot around this place. It's going to be a big difference. We're talking maybe a lap and a half, 2-lap difference overall in their runs. So this could get interesting. I don't know 100% for sure if these guys up front can make it, but I want to bet that 4th back, they sandbag it and hold back behind this draft, could make it to the very end of this race. Getting about 25 laps on the tank. So here we are sitting at lap 42 out of 75. That's not going to cut it. That's 30 laps. That'd be a lot of saving. Helmlinger. Garrett, you had time to text? You were up there in the lead, and now you're messaging me. All right. Well, thank you for the info. Try not to crash this thing. 21 Machine popping up in the chat. Man, do you really listen to my voice during the entire race? That's got to be nerve-wracking. '24 Dakota Floyd, Brian Hennings, your top 2. They're going to lead them off here with Sean Bounty, David Ackenbauer, and Morgan Cook, your top 5. Langton, Chris Klein, Todd Cleveland, Nicholas Pressey, and looks like Thad Miller, your top 10. I'm excited. Hope you guys are too. As we wind down the last 30 laps of this race. Nightbot saying something about Simulators Anonymous. Simulators Anonymous presents the Tuesday night series, and I apologize, Nightbot. Might have had one too many beers here tonight. Speaking of too many beers, I as well. Here we go. I'm ready. I'm ready. Get this pace car out of the way. Dakota Floyd's going to lead him off. Pace car making the left-hander. And a little bit of a gap here. These guys are going to tighten up. The 8 of Langton. The 18 of Chris Klein. We could have a first-time winner here at VSRL. There we are. Geico restart zone. Green flag up in the air. We're back green at Talladega for the second time tonight. Already some big moves here as they go into 3. 34 of Bounty gets to the lead. The 74 of Brian Hennings pushes him up to the front. The 12 of Selly gets stuck on the... Actually, the 37 of Ackenbauer gets stuck on the outside. The 12 of Selly has actually parked it for the night. Dakota Floyd, who led this thing off, has fallen back to the 4th position on the inside. No big moves here for the 24 yet tonight. He's just been comfortable riding 3rd in line. There's the 94 Pressy now going to the outside. 51 of Morgan Cook. Let's ride on board with him. Now to the outside, the 8 of Langton out of nowhere gets in front of the 37. He moves up a lane, almost gets away with the lead as they go into 3. And Sean Bounty, who started on the pole, back up to the front. Great racing here tonight at Talladega. Good to see these guys running double file, but it's about to get really racy. They're only making it 25 laps on fuel. It's Talladega. I think I bring it down pit road with about 23 to go. I try to short pit and pray it goes green. Break away from this pack, and the 24, Dakota Floyd shuffled out of line. He's going to lose all the way back to the 12th position. Sixteenth now as it cycles through. On board here with the 5 of Phillips we saw involved in that crash earlier. Back in the 16th position. He's got a lot of ground to make up. No fast repairs left, so the 5's probably going to sandbag until the very end. So I don't normally do this, but with these camera angles, I feel like it's fitting. And I feel like they're a great opportunity. If you know where that volume knob is, you watched any Fox Sports broadcasting in the last 10 years, you know what it's time for. We're going to go one lap here, and we're going to crank it up as loud as we can. After one lap of that, Sean Langton in the lead. Drops down to the inside line. The 37 of Achenbauer on the outside, and Langton goes all the way to the apron. He's going to let all these guys go, and that gives the lead away to the 37 of Achenbauer. Langton looking for a spot to get back into line here as he falls all the way back to the 13th position. Justin Ritchie, nope, the 17 of Watkins is going to let him in. But Achenbauer looks like he might just lead this time by. Barely across that line. All right, Achenbauer, Cressy, down the backstretch. Who's it going to be across the line this time? There's a dent worn into the back of that 37. And he's going to move up a lane, and now the 34 Bounty is going to come to the inside. It'll make our 17th lead change here tonight. And way up there on the outside is the 37 of Achenbauer. He gets shuffled out. Guy that's been quiet all race long, Todd Cleveland, started back in the 12th position, is now in the 4th spot, up in the top 5, just in front of him. Another guy that's been pretty quiet, that's Chris Klein in the 3rd spot. So now these guys starting to turn up the heat. Some new tankers into the top 5. Thad Miller in 5th spot. Riding on board now with a 13 machine. Starting to single file out. I think some of these guys are thinking pit road. I'm interested to see if anybody brings it down to pit lane. John Bounty might be one of the first ones to lead him down there. I don't know, chat. What do? You bring it down pit road and short pit. You've got enough now with the fuel window. This is the time, 24 laps. You can make it on fuel from here on out. I don't know. I don't know what the call is here. Nobody taking it this time by. Now he's going to lead another lap. We're winding it down. Just about 20 to go. 22 left as they cross the line. We'll shuffle back here for position. The 41 of Kyle Stewart falls back. I think he's looking at pit road as well. He'll definitely pit with some teammates here. 74 machine has not left the rear bumper of Sean Bounty at all since the beginning of this run. He's stuck with him. Down the back straightaway, Chris Klein, Todd Cleveland, Thad Miller still remain up there in that top 5. Justin Ritchie starting to turn his race around. Had some trouble there earlier in this race. Wasn't able to sneak through that accident. Luckily, we have a fast repair in this league. I know a lot of these guys are thankful for that. It's going to be another lap led there for the 34 Sean Bounty. I'm 10th place back. I'm bringing it down pit road this time by. Let's see what they do. No takers yet. It's all single filed out. It just looks like it. Bounty, Hennings, Klein, your top 3. Klein's definitely saving some fuel, but that 34 has got to be getting close. No victory cigars yet. Still got a lot of racing left to go in this thing. And Talladega, the dice roll that this track is. And talk about short pitting, the situation you would be in. Praying that it goes caution-free from here on out. This track is single filed out. These guys know they got to count down the laps. Doesn't matter if you lead every single one of them. You have to lead the last one. And with 10 to 15 to go, you saw the 3 wide action earlier in this run. And that was guys just testing where they could get these runs, what could happen. Doing a little learning curve with the setup here tonight. I look for them to bring it down pit road very, very soon. I said that 7 laps ago, so I'm not calling it out anymore. But again, in chat, if you guys have an opinion on anything, feel free to chat. Drop us a like. Say anything ridiculous. I'll read it out loud. I don't care. Try to keep it in the PG-13 realm. Talking to myself for most of this broadcast, it'd be nice to read a little text every now and then. I saw John and Deb. Appreciate the compliments. Garrett reminding me that I have no idea how well these guys, how long they can go on pit road. I have no idea. Jacob Shoemaker, Todd Miller, everybody here in tonight's broadcast, we appreciate you. And I'm not saying a word. They went right by the entrance, so I don't know anything. Strategy here at this point might be that they're wondering if a caution does come out. All put together, ride back here just outside, well, just inside the top 10 with the 51 of Morgan Cook. I mean, at this point, if I'm in 10th position, I'm pretty far back. I don't feel like I have much to lose. I come down pit road, try to short pit, get on and off as fast as I can, win that race off pit road so I don't have to pit with 7, 8, 9, 10 other cars Come in with Sean Langton right here behind him. That's a teammate. Get back out on the track. Get up to speed. I don't know. I'm just really surprised we haven't seen it yet. With only 15 to go. Taking my mind and putting it in a bottle. Bottling my mind. Movie reference. Shout out in chat if anybody can guess what movie that's from. Nightbot again, you are drunk. Martin Sports is Tuesday nights, but we'll work on it. We'll get it together. Hey, maybe. Hey, maybe. There it is. Hey, I didn't say it, but it happened. 51 to Cook. Langton. These guys are listening to the broadcast. I know they are. 10th on back. Came down pit road. Here we go. Helmlinger, Tips, Phillips, Stewart on pit road right now as we speak. Bounty's still going around this place. Bad Miller in the 6th position now. Nicholas Pressey all by his lonesome up there on the outside. I think we're about to see the 2nd round of pit stops now. And here they come. Nicely done. Nobody slide through on the entrance. Nice and smooth down pit road here. Collectively, well done. $55 of Richie. Looks like he might win the race off pit road. No, it's going to be the 94 of Pressey and the 24 of Dakota Floyd late to leave that box. And here comes Langton. They got a lot of ground to make up. Are they going to get back in time? I don't think they are. Pressey out to dry. The 34 of Bounty goes to the outside. The VRX guys teamed up. The 55 of Richie. Hanging with this pack. Thad Miller. Chris Klein. The 44 of Cleveland a little bit behind. Achenbauer even further. Langton and this group of cars got a lot of work to do, but they got time. About 12 laps to go. That's a long gap there. You can see it. It's almost half the straightaway. The 8 of Langton needs to make up. Are they going to catch up to him in time? Gap between Todd Cleveland and Sean Langton right now is 4.2 seconds. It is shrinking. Now down to 4.1. Down to 4 seconds. Starting to level off though. Is there enough time? Can the 8 car pull this tandem all the way up to the front? He has the 28 behind him. of Luke Daniels, who's being scored as 1 lap down. 4.2 seconds. This front pack starting to pull away. The only thing that the 8 car can hope for, and everybody behind him, is that this front pack starts to race each other hard. And I don't foresee that happening because they have a pretty good cushion back to the 8th position. I think they wait until 2 or 3 to go before they start to spread out and do anything crazy. And at that point, it might be too little too late for Sean Langton, Kyle Stewart, and those guys to catch back up. So your top 5, Sean Bounty, Brian Hennings, Justin Ritchie, Nicholas Pressey, and Thad Miller. Anybody could get a win here. It's not set in stone, and I can tell you the worst position to be when that white flag comes out is exactly where Sean Bounty is right now. He has the lead, but it's so tough to hold on to it. Less than 10 to go here. Never too late, 8. That's what they're saying. I hope you're right. These guys catching a little bit, but they give up a 10th, they gain a 10th, and they need another push here. This group's not staying together. I know they're running out of time, so these teammates might be trying to push up and get in front of the 8 car. We're going to find out. Some side draft coming into play now for the 21 Helmlinger. He's going to move up in the 51. Morgan Cook gets pushed out of line and loses a ton of ground. 24 Dakota Floyd up to this pack. But now we've got a tandem of cars that are working. I don't know. They've got to do something. .7 seconds with all this shuffling around. These guys can't figure out who wants to lead this pack. The 51 and Morgan Cook able to hold on to the draft, but it's not going to be enough right now. These guys might need a caution. John Bounty leading 30 laps here tonight. Long ways to go left. Look at these guys racing back here in this 8th position. Big shove there to the 28. Pushed him down to the apron. They got him down to 5.2. It was 4.1 earlier in this run. 5 of Phillips is all over the bumper of that 28. Look at this gap. It's down below 5 seconds, but we've only got 5 laps left. That's not enough time. They're only shaving off a 10th at a time. 4.8 seconds now. They finally found the rhythm. Able to take it down to 4.7 as they cross the line here. I don't think that's going to be enough. Unless something crazy happens with this front pack, I don't think it's going to be enough. The gap continues to shrink now. Almost down to 4.7 flat as they come into 3. Innings might be running out of steam, but it get a big run here off of 4, pushing back out to 4.8. Justin Ritchie in the 3rd spot. He's in a prime spot now to get around these VRX teammates. Does he have a partner back there with Nicholas Pressey? Or does Thad Miller push Pressey? Somebody's going to go to this outside when we get about 2 to go. They're going to start making that run. Line, Cleveland, they're back far enough that I think they'd have to start it with 3 to go. Problem is when you make that run, everybody on that inside is going to take notice of it from that far back. Here we come up on 3 to go. $199 to Mark Math on the outside. That's going to delay this run a little bit, but here comes the 18 of Klein. There's the run right there. Watch this inside line, take note of this. The 18 needs the 44 to get right up on the bumper here. Chris Klein on the outside of the 74, Brian Hennings, the 44 of Todd Cleveland, pushing the hell out of the 18. The 34 down on the bottom, Bounty is going to try to hold on to the lead here with 2 to go. Into turns 1 and 2, coming off of 2 now. Looks like the 74 of Hennings is getting a little bit hot. He has to breathe it. Not much room there, and the 18 of Chris Klein takes away the lead here. 1.5 laps left. And the 44 and the 18 clear him. Nicholas Pressey up there on the outside now. The 55, Justin Ritchie, holding it down on the very bottom. Thad Miller in a good spot now. Can they make it 3 wide? White flag in the air. Line on the outside takes away the lead in the entrance of 1. Bounty going to get a push back from Hennings all the way on the bottom. Neck and neck as they come off of turn 2. Down the back straightaway. It's going to be a drag race. Who's going to be the first one to turn 3? Bounty gets the headroom, but there's going to be a big push here from the 44 all over the back bumper of Chris Klein on the outside of Sean Bounty as they come through the oval. It's going to be a drag race to the finish line. There it is, the 34. Sean Bounty's going to win it. Brian Hennings and Chris Klein, your top 3. Great finish there at the line. Let's take a look back at that really quickly. The 18 of Klein gets shoved up out of line there. Here they come across the line. Let's see how close it was. Right here at the finish line. It's going to be Sean Bounty, Brian Hennings, and Chris Klein. 0.06 of a second separating those three across the line here. There's the 34 coming back around. VRX sponsored the race tonight. VRX is able to win, and Brian Hennings pushes him to victory. Chris Klein with probably the season best. Sean Bounty getting it done as he burns it down on the front stretch. It was an excellent race, John. Excellent race. I enjoyed every second of it. Interviews with your top three post-race. We're going to pull up Sean Bounty, Brian Hennings, and Chris Klein. Talk to these VRX simulation guys right after this commercial break.
I played a couple of simulators, and this was like very responsive, especially the hydraulics and stuff. The motion and stuff was really, really on point.
But you feel like you're really driving. It feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.
Oh, big wiggle.
Here comes Milo using the bottom south car closing in behind.
And here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out the 37.
Oh!
The world gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Swack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it at Auto Club.
All right, post-race interviews coming up here. Brian Hennings, Sean Bounty, Chris Klein. Your winner here tonight, Sean Bounty. We pull your top three up here into the waiting room. Sean, we usually try to go with third place first, but you're the winner, so we'll go with you first. I can't find any Brian Hennings here tonight and Chris Klein. So, hey, man, excellent race. You led the vast majority of the lap.
That's Brian Hennings.
There it is. All right, we found him. We'll move him up here, but you got the win done here tonight. What did it take? I know that usually at Talladega you don't want to be in the lead, but that outside just not able to edge you and your teammate out on that last lap.
Yeah, I'm kind of scratching my head at that one, to be honest, because the outside is arguably better. And I was testing it out through most of the second half of practice. It's a better line. As long as you're well organized, you don't offset, and you got 3 trucks there, you should be able to do it. But somehow, Brian and Justin Ritchie, they did a hell of a job pushing me. VRX team winning the VRX Talladega.
Yeah,
Um,
it's fitting, isn't it?
but yeah, we were doing great communication all race and executed great pit stops. And early in the race, I thought maybe this looked like just a green race to the end, and I needed to get out of the lead and just ride because 25 laps was pushing it on fuel, and you needed to hit that to run the whole race. But when we got that caution there, it was basically flat foot all the way to the end. So just made my way back to the front, and we just executed there. Would have been fun to race with the other guys I was running with, but when the outside lane took a hold with a couple laps to go, we were all stuck on the bottom, and we just committed to making the best push we could.
And we had Sean Langton and a few other guys back there, Garrett Helmlinger, and that second tandem of cars. But it seemed like that you and your teammate Brian Hennings just pushed, and every time they would make any headroom, you would take it right back on the exit.
Yeah. With our little group, we were just executing well and made sure to remind them, hey, just push aggressively, but you don't need to ride my bumper all the way around. You don't want to run hot and then have to back off for too long. So we found some key spots on the track to push and let off where we could, but not back up too much. And yeah, those times kept building. And when we hit a couple lap cars, we were able to work with them and get even more draft and just ride the bottom with a little bit more boost on that.
Well, it looked good out there, Sean, and congratulations on tonight's win. VSPEED, VRX, or VRX on the hood, VSRL. There's a lot of V's in this league, I've noticed. But do you have
They all
anybody
lead
else
to
you'd like
victory
to?
lane.
They all lead to the victory, the big V. That's the one you look forward to the most. What do you got? Anybody to shout out for tonight's victory, man?
Well, like I said, everybody that's been mentioned so far: Brian Henning, Justin Ritchie, Mark Mass, and Nick Funkno. They were all in the race on the team. I'm not exactly sure what happened at some points of the race where we got split up. I know there was some issues, but we all did great. And Brian for basically lead footing it there in the last lap to make sure we couldn't get separated and just edging them out.
Congratulations again, Sean. And this isn't the first time we've seen you up here. Hopefully it's not the last. We're getting down to the crunch time of the season. Race 9 out of 14. Your winner here tonight, Sean Bounty. Congratulations.
Thank you.
There he is, the 34. We're going to bring up second place finisher Brian Hennings. And Brian, a lot of things going on here. And you're making VRX look really good here on the broadcast tonight. I think I said that about 1,000 times. So great job. And you said you were a fanboy, so here it is, second place. What do you got?
Right on. Thanks, Bradley. Yeah, basically, just it was the bounty show. I'll be honest, he's got all the experience, so we were relying on him for his fuel strategy. So it was just, push him around the track, and good things happened. I just got really lucky with that. The one wreck, it happened right in front of me, and missed it enough. And yeah, things worked out after the pits. It was great.
You guys worked well together, the execution on pit road. Sean mentioned that before. How was it to get on and off pit road? That late caution kind of messed with the pit cycles and how everybody was going to pit. You guys got on and off there faster than the rest of the field. 10th place back, pits, and falls 4 seconds behind. What were you thinking at that point?
It was just, I had practiced, a bit during warm-ups, pitting at full speed. I mean, you can practice by yourself, but it's not the same when you're breaking away from a pack. And yeah, just tried to practice pit entry and hit that line as close to 55 as possible and keep it at 55. And we did the alternate tire strategy during the pits. So it just worked out. We did a good job on the pit road stops, and it really worked out. It was great.
7.9 seconds, 7.4 seconds for you in the box. You were the quickest one off pit road on that last stop. Congratulations on the second place. I know it was tough, and anybody can get a win here, but when you can finish with one caution, keeping that thing shiny side up, I gotta admit, I'm digging the new paint scheme with the red combination. What is it going to take here from season now to season end? We are sitting here at Talladega. We've got Texas next week. What's it going to take?
A lot of luck. Honestly, I'm still learning this. I still consider myself a noob, so I just got to, get better at hitting apexes and tire wear, all that fall off, and just do the best of what I can do.
Good luck out there, and we hope to see you back up here in the broadcast booth. Brian Hennings, your second place finisher. Congratulations. Do you have anybody you'd like to shout out real quick before we let you go?
Just everyone at VRX. It's fun to be a part of them. Thanks to Bounty. Thanks to Richie for pushing as well. And yeah, it's great, man.
We appreciate your time, Brian, and look forward to it.
Thanks, Bradley. Take care.
Second place finisher is 74. We actually still have the winner up there on the screen, so let's get the right name up there on the... Thought I clicked that. Hey, we don't always get it right every time, John. I'm sorry, John. I hope that doesn't change your opinion on the nice broadcast, but here we go. We're going to move on to third place finisher, Chris Klein. And Chris, I've never spoken to you before, but you got it done here tonight in the podium, and man, it looked like you might have had the shot at the lead to win this thing.
Yeah, man, it was a great race. Really enjoyed it. Thank you to Todd. Big thank you to Todd. I got pulled into this league about midway through, I think, or 3 or 4 races in from a couple of friends from another league, and jumped in with both feet. And Garrett allowed me to get in after the league had already started for this season, and have really enjoyed it. Been some great racing, and they weren't here tonight, but Todd stepped up at the end and was willing to push me, and him and I made a charge with, I think, 3 laps to go, and got up there and thought we were going to get up there and be able to battle between the two of us for the win, but never could clear that bottom line. But it was fun.
Yeah, tightening down here at Talladega, the lanes and the side draft, there's about a million things. Then you have lap cars, and you guys came all the way from the tail end of that front pack. So you started it at the right time, just couldn't get that momentum towards the end.
Yeah, we were really close. I think I was clear once, maybe twice, but I wasn't going to leave Todd out there by himself on the outside, especially after he pushed me all the way from the back. Didn't seem right. I really thought we could get enough momentum to clear both Sean and Brian on the bottom. Brian did a phenomenal job pushing Sean, just staying glued to his back bumper. And I think when Todd got me going into the tri-oval, it got me a little loose, and I just turned out from in front of him to the outside wall, because the last thing I wanted to do was wreck the whole front pack on the tri-oval that close to the finish line. But it all worked out. That top group stayed together, had a clean finish. Everybody finished, so it worked out well.
I don't know, man. You got to change that mentality. I think if I'm clear, I'm coming down. And sorry, Todd, but I'm leading this thing with half a lap to go. I think I might just do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have enough friends yet. Maybe.
Yeah. Well, that's a good way to make them.
Longer.
That's a good way to make them. Todd Cleveland's a good friend to have there, and he's definitely a fast guy. But Chris, you get it done. You get up here in the broadcast booth with the podium finish, third place here tonight. Do you have anybody you'd like to shout out or thank for tonight's performance?
Yeah, thank Beaver Toyota. They came on as a sponsor of mine about 6 months ago, and helped me to enjoy this hobby of mine, and contribute a little bit to allowing me to do this, and giving me some funds to better myself in this hobby of mine. Appreciate their support. Appreciate Garrett and the whole team over at VSRL for allowing me to jump in. Like I said, a couple races into the season already, not knowing who I was really. Appreciated that. Been a lot of fun over here racing. I know on the road courses and the dirt tracks, I just try to stay out of the way for sure. And this tonight I thought was going to be my best shot at getting a win and possibly getting into the playoffs, because Texas is not a good track for me. But we'll continue on. We'll be here through the playoffs, and we'll muster what we can.
Chris, on a side note, I noticed, not to shout out other leagues, but I do notice a Numb Thumbs banner across the roof of that car. And I don't know if we've been on the track together. I feel like we have at this point, seeing that banner. But, you might recognize some names like Richard Holland or Rick Fagone, those guys. racing over there at Numb Thumbs. But yeah, it's good to see you, and hopefully we can get you back up here in the broadcast booth again. Congratulations on the 3rd place, and good luck at Texas next week.
Thank you, and thanks for broadcasting. Really enjoy going back and watching these. It makes it really enjoyable.
We appreciate that. Everybody, VSPEED, thanks you for that. 3rd place finisher here tonight, Chris Klein. Good luck next week, my guy. All right, so moving in to Texas next week. I hope you guys are excited. I'm stoked, super stoked. We got a lot of racing left to be done. We've got Texas, Dover, Michigan, Bristol, Las Vegas. Bristol's going to be fun. It always is. Tempers are going to flare. That's the second to the last race of the season here in this 14 race stint. But for everybody at VSRL, let's bring up your finishing results. Sean Bounty, your winner. Brian Headings started 7th, brings it up to 2nd position. Chris Klein, Todd Cleveland, Justin Ritchie, Nicholas Presley, Thad Miller, Ross Phillips, Kyle Stewart, and Morgan Cook, your top 10. Dakota Floyd, Sean Langton, Garrett Helmlinger, David Alkenbauer, Adam Tips, Brian Watkins, Mark Math, Nicholas Fontenot, Luke Daniels, and Joseph Selig will round out your field. Selig taking it behind the wall, 37 laps down. Had some problems there early in the race that put him back. But nonetheless, it was a great race. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's broadcast. If you did, again, hit that subscribe button. Here on the YouTube for VSPEED, from Adam Baker, myself, Bradley Cooper, Alec Martinez, and everyone in the VSPEED booth, we thank you for your time. Hope to catch you tomorrow night at 8:35 p.m. Eastern Time. The BTDY Cup Series, also at Talladega. Hope you can make it there. Gunther the Goat says, I had no help. Been there, buddy. Been there. But until then, hope to see them tomorrow night, 8:35 Eastern Time. Until then, guys, appreciate it. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Oh, big wiggle. And here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out for 37.
Oh!
Burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Thwack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
I played a couple of simulators, and this was like very responsive, especially the hydraulics and stuff. The motion and stuff was really, really on point.
But you feel like you're really driving. It feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.